What is up?
Welcome back, chess fans. Well, we should be doing this, right?
What is this? What cool people do now?
Round three.
I'm actually not cool anymore.
Round three.
Fingers work like this. I actually lost this finger in the
A chess game.
Yes, I did. It was 1999. I was 8,
Tailberg.
and a kid. I played Mike Tyson's son, and he bit my finger off.
Damn, that's real.
Yep.
What do you think about Tyson versus Jake Paul?
It bothers me because I love boxing and I watch a lot of boxing.
Oh, so you're locked in.
Yeah, no, it hurts me. Mainly because the only people that lose are the people watching.
Yes, from something like that.
Yes, because you can talk till you're blue in the face about Tyson's legacy. Tyson doesn't give a crap about his legacy. He cares about money. So he's gonna make off like a bandit.
Yes.
So is Paul. But everybody wanting, this is what really pisses me off is, let's say Jake Paul gets punched in the face and knocked out. He just made $50 million, okay?
Yes.
Am I that, yeah, I'll take $50 million to get punched in the face. Win or lose, he just made a bunch of money.
Indeed. I'm glad we got that opinion because that was going to make or break our relationship here in the booth, so.
No, it
I
fundamentally bothers me that it's even happening. I hate
Also,
it.
before we jump into this Nimzo Indian, look at the uwu ears that I have. Ooh. This is what I was trying to fix.
Can you show me your best Ohego face? Don't.
Maybe.
Don't. This is not the.
Maybe in round 4. That's
we
round 4.
We will be posting
activities.
that on the Bushwick Chess OnlyFans. So if you want to see Matt's Ohego face, then you are in luck.
We are raising money for another DHT board. So this is,
we really need it.
Yeah.
Don't ask where it came from.
Okay, so we were talking earlier about how creative of a player Alex is, and I think we're already starting to see that. What in the world is this?
I thought you were talking about me, and I got really excited. Like, oh wow,
Both
talking
Alexes.
about me? I'm not even playing in the tournament. No, Alex, National Master Alex Fikiet. Fikiet. Okay. Yeah, he's a crafty one for sure. What are you seeing here from him on white?
I am just so shocked about the bishop being on h4 in this Nimzo Indian. I don't allow my opponent to play the Nimzo, so I don't end up in these structures very often. But I can definitely say I've seen a lot of Nimzo games, and I've actually never seen this position with the bishop. Have you?
Yeah, I've played this many a times because I was telling Matt before, I play a lot. I know a couple openings very well, but other than that, I just play opening systems and have enough tactics that I can play well. Terrible with openings. So this is just me playing the Queen's Gambit as white, basically. But yeah, it is a Nimzo. But I've played this where the pawn just comes out, I bring my bishop back, and it's just like a regular queen pawn system.
Sometimes white is scared to do this because you see c5 and then you see the queen come out, sometimes also to a5. But before we jump too much more into the game, the players, Alex Fikiet and Sam Sharf, not Shark. Shark would be a cool name, but Sharf, Sharf.
Although, I mean, I bet they would be totally fine with being called Sam Shark because I personally would love my name to be Sam Shark. That would be rad. I would love that.
Oh, I shouldn't have even said anything because now we got it corrected with our expert producer Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker. I mean, you are astute, but I might be changing my name to Alex Shark. But don't you change it now.
So
don't you do
in this position, actually,
I hear you laughing.
You would be the combination between Alex Fikiet and Sam Sharf is Alex Shark.
Okay.
Alex
Shark. Exactly.
Alex
Yes.
Shark.
Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. Yay. Legally binding name now. So that's my name.
I'm already. I don't know. Again, I don't know this opening that well, but I'm feeling a little bit strange about Black's position already.
Yeah. So the C5 pawn, I have played against that, and I've definitely lost with people because I'll push the bishop with normal stuff like H3, and for whatever reason, that C pawn just becomes a thorn in your side because it has really good center control. So Black actually has the better center here, I would say.
Black has a good center, but developing that light square bishop is going to be a problem because I think at some point you're going to have to play knight bd7 to figure out to basically move your pieces.
Yeah, I mean, they could also go with the backwards knight a6 and hem it into the c7 square and attack the center. But, we'll see how creative Salmon is with this because they played e6 with the idea to free the bishop, right? But that's keep making the d6 square, and I'm curious to see if Alex queenside castles here. What, you think that'd be crazy?
I think in these positions it is kind of crazy, but since it's Alex, I would say I wouldn't be surprised.
I 100% would play queenside castle here.
Yeah, okay.
Then again, he has much better fundamentals than me and is a national master.
I think we're going to see normal development because I actually think Alex is pretty happy with his position. I think this bishop on h4 is really good. Black maybe at some point would play g5. Like I would not be that shocked to actually see that, but it's hard to develop your pieces with Black here.
And this is one of those things when you play a higher level opposition, they want you to play h6. They want you to make a structural weakness and push the bishop because you're not going to hyperextend out and play g5. So it's a white squared weakness now. I mean, down the road you'll see, it does give the king an out, but development wise, the bishop's hemmed in and because of that, that pawn, the knight's still trapped from moving with the bishop attacking the queen. And I find weaker players trying to kick bishops when it's not really necessary. And it actually, I think, weakens the position.
The only problem with the structure as is you can't, like, how do you develop your pieces as Black? If you don't play g5.
G5. G5 is a totally terrible move.
Well, right now.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying the eventual.
Well, that is the issue because if he didn't push now, honestly, I mean the queen could have moved. Could have moved before, and because on bishop takes knight, that's not that bad. Okay, sorry, he just took the knight here. Yeah. But I would play g takes f6 any day, but now g takes f6 is a weakness because the h6 square is was played, so now that pawn will come under attack.
Yeah, so this is I guess material's still equal, but Black is castled, so Black has a little bit of in theory a safer king, but white and Black both have some work still to do.
Why do you think that white took with the pawn instead of the queen?
Oh, I'll give you an easy one, which is that I think in these Benoni type structures, which is the pawn structure, if you take the queen, Black is going to get at some point some play with a6 and b5, even if you give up a pawn. Mm-hmm. And in this, if you take like this, they never have counterplay. So I think Alex is just trying to limit the counterplay, and as we kind of talked about earlier, just grind Sam down.
Yeah, I mean the weaknesses are just gonna kind of come out of the woodwork here. He might have doubled pawns, but you see that Sam is weak on the white squares, the queen, right, that diagonal, and then on top of that, they're about to be weak on the b file if the rook comes over.
Yeah, and no dark square bishop.
Yes, no dark squared bishop, so the knight is now a weakness again because they played h6.
So, okay, we see takes.
And that is an attempt to get the bishop out, and that's also a reason why Alex had no problem taking with the pawn, because now his weakness has been fixed, and the pawns are no longer doubled.
Fix the weakness.
Yeah. But, Sam had no choice here because they wanted to develop their bishop.
Yeah. So, question of where to put the light square bishop for white. I believe that will be the next move we see. If not, maybe we'll see h3. Those are the two. So he's not worried. Okay, interesting. I thought he would play something a little bit prophylactic against bishop g4, but I guess you don't really need to.
Bishop g4 against bishop g4?
Yeah, just to limit the scope. Not that there's a threat, but just to limit the scope of the bishop. Because now you kind of give it.
I would never ever play bishop g4.
But bishop g4.
Sorry,
like
pawn g4. You're talking pawn g4.
So there you go, bishop g4
Okay.
in this position because this is like another Benoni idea. But the light square bishop, you want to trade it off for a knight. So that's what I thought. Just constrain it. You know, h3.
So you'd be okay with the bishop coming out and trading off that knight, and the
if
bishop,
I'm black. Black wants to trade it.
Do not like that position, but then again, I don't play these structures for black. Because now I think a lot of the advantages black had are gone, and I would say, in my non-computer conservative opinion, that white's probably a pawn and a half up.
Yeah, I agree with that valuation. Yeah.
White's definitely
Anything black's doing is trying to fight back to equality.
Exactly. The initiative is 100% with white, and you see weaknesses that are either that are going to be targeted soon, like the backwards d pawn for black, and again that file.
But Sam is smiling. I don't know if you see this, smiling over the board. So I wonder.
It's pretty, it's a pretty mild position, and I don't see any tactics for either of them. Unless you do.
No, I don't really
there's
see
nothing
tactics.
really here.
More of a positional.
Yeah, it's positional position. Position.
It is a position. Oh, also, do you mind if I snap a little picture of it?
Go for it.
Because we got a document. There we go. That's nice. We'll have to get a picture of the whole working crew later as well.
I'm pretending I'm on a roller coaster now.
Oh, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
And we have to, but we have to pay $24 for
the roller coaster ride
for the picture.
Ah, yes. They are rather expensive, especially in Splash Mountain.
Have you been to Splash Mountain?
Mm-hmm.
When's
Years
the last
ago.
time?
Probably. I don't know. I actually played a chess tournament when I was little at Splash Mountain, and I played. No, it was at Epcot. It was at Epcot, and
Even
I played
better.
horrendously. I got it was a 7-round tournament, and I got 2.5 points. It was played really bad. Not my best national tournament appearance.
I saw recently
nationals.
they did that. Yeah, nationals.
They do that every year, and it's the big ones are Disney and it's called the Gaylord Opry in Nashville. Yeah, those are big when I was a kiddo.
It's pretty cool. But let's be honest, a bunch of kids going to play chess in Disney, chess is kind of the afterthought, I'm sure.
Yeah.
At that
I
point.
also think Sam is just a smiler.
Okay.
Some players just have their default face.
Yes.
When they play chess, and regardless of position, happy person.
Well, we this is a big deviation from board one the last 2 rounds because Cam does not have a smile.
Cam is completely deadpan, and the best is when he plays against children, and it just he's just mercilessly he's
locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in, ready to take their lunch money.
So, okay, the position I feel like has somewhat resolved in a way that seems to be swinging slightly back to equality.
Yeah, I think that I keep on seeing. I mean, it's weird, but the last couple of games have been similar structures.
Yes.
I know you were saying Benoni before also, but the backwards D6 pawn pushing up the white pawn. I kind of want to show you. I have this opening system that I created that looks really stupid in this position, but I want to show it to you later.
Hell yeah.
In this opening structure, where you let the pawn come up to D5 and you play really silly. You actually do play G5. I'll show it to you later.
Yeah, show me. There's also an idea that I saw recently, which is Ray Robson idea, which is D4, Knight F6, D5.
F6, D5.
Yes.
Really?
Really. This is an idea, and it's a Ray Robson bullet idea, but it's become a little bit more legit, and people are now actually playing this in Rapid and Blitz.
Yeah.
Kind of wild.
Big thing with openings is even if the position tends towards equality, if you play it a lot, you will become more comfortable than your opponent and just play better than him.
One of the strongest BCC players who I think won the tournament on Tuesday, Miguel.
Okay.
Is that type of player. He doesn't play openings, he plays systems. So against any D4 opening, he plays G6, Bishop G7, that's it. and you do anything against him as black, and he basically just fianchettos, light square bishop, and castles close. That's it.
Yeah, very
And
comfortable.
he's very, very strong player,
Yeah,
2,000 plus.
yeah, no, he's a solid 2,000. And that's the funny thing. You have so many people that are starting to play chess that are like anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500, and they're just naming off all these openings that they know. And I'm like talking about different like things, and I'm like, I didn't even look at an opening book until I was a 1,500. Like, it's not. What's really important is that your fundamentals are solid, and that's a school of thought I have. Is that, and because I play complete garbage openings all the time. I love playing the hippopotamus. Actually, on the Discord, my name is the Wild Hippopotamus.
Wild hippo.
Because I have multiple tournaments that I'll just play that system, white or black, and I'll get great positions, and I'll just be clubbing people over the head with it because, yeah, it's way more important to be comfortable with your opening structure than, to have all the lines
Can't
memorized.
underrate comfortability, especially when you're playing a stronger player. If you feel like, I know this position, I've been in it before, and I know it's like about equal, the rating now doesn't matter because you've gotten a chess game and you're not losing. If you're not losing in the first 10 moves against a player who's much stronger than you, the confidence really goes up.
Yeah, and then it just falls back to the earth once you make one mistake. But let's talk about the position. So the queen came out, got out of that bishop pin, but at the same moment, the rook really. The knight on d7 can't really move. So I would say black should try to move that knight soon to free up their position a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not going to say boring position.
I don't like the queen. I don't like the queen on a5. I think that's misplaced queen.
I don't hate it. I like bringing my queen.
But
out
you
there.
had to though, because you had to get out of that pin.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. I didn't want Sam wants to pop
But there
their
was
knight
some
out.
other idea of playing like queen e7.
Queen e7. Yes. To play into it, but
Like queen e7, because I'm trying to think about what black does now. Obviously, it's white to move, but
I think white's going to start pushing that, find a way to push the e3 pawn pretty soon because there needs to be a pawn push to open this position. Black, actually, now I really realize the reason for that queen move is they really want to play b5.
yeah.
b5, free up the knight, have the
passer.
queen in there as the sweeper. So that's what the threat looks like. I'm going to make my guesstimation that white is finally going to play rook b1, although
Rook a b1.
Yes, a to b1, although I might be worried about a bishop going to f5 and screwing things, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So I think he might set that up by moving his queen first, blah blah. But there's moves.
He always has his own bishop to kind of parry that
Yes, he
white
does.
square bishop.
But calculating if he does move the bishop, then black's gonna take the knight and the pawns are gonna get doubled again. The king's gonna get exposed. Blah blah.
But the thing is that he
can also push the pawn.
He has
No,
to
he
wait.
can't. Yes.
So if black moves the bishop, white moves the bishop. So that actually brings to the point of I like your idea, to play rook a b1. I also think at some point the rook that's on f1 it might move over to e1 to support the pawn push you were talking about. What do you think?
f1 to e1. Yeah, that's definitely. But that would be the correct rook syndrome because if we brought the other rook over there, that's the bad rook, and it's a whole.
You definitely need a rook on the queen side.
Yes.
If you're white, because this push is not.
Okay,
to be
so Matt's.
scoffed at.
Oh, again, here we go.
Bang.
Matt's guess was not bad though. I could have definitely saw that. And the third,
No, I agree with you.
The
I
third
agree
choice
with you.
I was looking at is maybe playing a4, which would also be contesting against the push. But
Yeah.
potato, tomato. There's many ways to skin an onion. So.
Oh wait, a4.
Oh, and it just wait a second. Whose move is it?
Wait, no, white's move.
So black just
Black
played
played
rook
A6.
b8. No, rook b8,
or
right?
rook b8, yeah.
Yes.
So your
And
meta
Sam,
is correct.
Yeah, and Sam saw that immediately. That was planted the position. And like any good player, plans within plans. And the thing that separates a beginner from an intermediate to an advanced is having a plan, especially in the middle game. And that push on the B file, Sam's plan. So that's the contention. Alex, I think, will start going for the center to deviate things because even with that pawn push, I mean, there's not that much momentum. So
Well, I'm trying to calculate that right now. I don't think you want to allow black to have a passer. So I think your idea of a4 actually might make a lot of sense here. But the problem with a4 is not short term. It's that I think long term, it might be a little bit of a weakness that black could attack later on in the game. Because you don't have the rook on the a file to protect it anymore.
2 for 2. Bing bong.
Hey, we get it. We get a4.
Mm-hmm. Waiting for this to crack open and start being tactically fun because it's again two pretty well both opponents are well developed. Although I would say that white has a little more initiative because there's a couple that it's minor, but the D pawn being a target might show its head. Bishop comes back to G3, attacking, going for the center, then some sort of deviation to start that pawn push, and you're going to see momentum that white has that black can't really contest with. So
this idea for black to push the queenside pawns, I think was a kind of a necessary thing to go for, and it did take some of the attention away from the opportunities that white had to improve the position because you have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost think that after resolving this, which I think this is resolved, I think if you push these pawns, you're not going to improve your position if you're black. I actually feel like white is happy that the pawn is on e3 and not e4 because that's the other place where black tends to look to attack in these types of pawn structures and on e-file, and you can't attack on e-file because the pawn's on e3.
Yeah. Well, it's E3 for now, and I just don't see any other break. Yep. Okay. Just what I thought. Although
Begging, this is a typical Alex type of move. This is an Alex move. He is begging, for the opponent to 1, get rid of the bishop, and 2, open up that G file so you can put a rook on the G file. And the other thing is that when the king is on H1 in that structure, there's no light square bishop to attack the king.
Good point.
So,
good point. Getting rid of the light squared bishop. Now white would have 2 scary bishops with decent diagonals to contend with, and has a pawn backing up the e pawn now because there would be a pawn on F3. And we saw that earlier from Alex that he will use his doubled pawns wisely, and that is, it's a temporary doubled pawn, as it would, he moved. No, it's Sam's move. Oh,
we see takes.
I don't like it.
Wow.
Don't like it. That was Alex wanted that to happen.
Well, what was the other option? What else were you looking at?
That's the thing. Sam doesn't have many options, so maybe taking something out of left field, figuring out what works.
Yeah, so now the knight...
We would have rolled back if we had an active board here.
Yes.
I guess the thing is...
maybe there's...
The F-pawn is weak now, so you might see the knight swing over to E5.
Maybe she could have played Queen H8.
Queen H8.
Instead. With the idea to reroute the pieces a little bit.
Okay, Queen's coming back because scared of the rook swinging over. Now you're going to start seeing we're going from early middle game to middle to late middle game, and you're going to start seeing fireworks coming off with F4.
Not expected, I think, from us.
But
a logical move.
It's not something I saw, but it totally makes sense because if you play E4 or F4 first, they're both accomplishing the same thing. It's pushing the center slowly closer, and I think either would have worked here. But by playing F4 first,
I think he's restricting the knight.
Yes.
I think he's restricting the knight from
Exactly.
jumping into
That's
d5.
exactly what the issue is. So if Alex would have played e4 first, and this is what I thought Sam should have played e4, e5, knight e5 immediately here instead of queen coming back, because they would have been
But
attacking the f3 square, but now they have allowed Alex to play f4. So now just hemmed in, waiting for the attack to happen. Knight can't come through, and the center's going to roll over you like a wave.
The challenge, though, with that is that Sam was faced with a really tough choice, because if instead of playing queen d8, a d8, they would have played knight e5, then you have bishop takes at f6, and you're cracking open the king, and you have just so many opportunities in that position.
Wait, roll that back. I wasn't paying attention.
So the meta idea is that if
for Sam,
instead of queen d8,
yes,
if you would have played knight e5, obviously you have some threats. You can't immediately take white can't immediately take the knight on f6 because
check.
Black has take the pawn with check.
Well, that's a little bit complicated because on check, well, let's say white takes knight. On check, the king will come up to g2 and attack the knight.
Yeah, but then the dark square bishop is hanging on h4.
On h4. Check.
Oh,
yeah.
So you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to defend the
right,
pawn.
You're right.
You have to defend the pawn, but then there is an idea to take the knight on f6. It's kind of complicated. Like I need a computer actually to look more at that position, because maybe that was actually the better idea. Who knows?
Well, yeah. I mean, we said I think we're in agreement that queen back was too passive, and the knight coming out would have activated the position. And now you're seeing Alex just romping into that center in a scary way. These bishops aren't going anywhere. These bishops are terrifying. That bishop, let's say you kick it or whatever, the bishop's coming down to a3, just barreling into the position. The pawn's going to start pushing. It's going all, materially equal, but Alex is probably up like 3 or 4 pawns at this point. This is bad.
This is pretty intense, and you see the challenge with bringing that queen back to d8 is that it went from d8, it went from a5 to d8 to c8, and in that time,
I don't
White has
even know
improved the
how
position.
I missed it. Why was the queen brought to c8? How did that happen? Is that if I walk over there, is that how the board's gonna read right now? No idea why that was played. Oh my god, no!
Back to d8.
Is Alex? You see, Alex just looked
wins.
away. Alex just looked away in complete disbelief that move was played. And it's easy for us to. There's so much psychological pressure going on in the game, especially playing someone as formidable as Alex.
Yeah, but dude, e4s, or this.
You're basically waiting in a waiting position here as Alex just steamrolls through it, and going back and forth with the queen and just waiting for the absolute worst here.
Would you resign in this position as Black?
It'd be on the top of my head, and I wouldn't be doing it because I would basically wait for the inevitable. In the first moment where I'm down any material here, I would probably resign because this is just so hard to deal with. This is just masters just sitting on you, and it's those little things. It's that one, and the initiative on the queen side was going. The queen was over there. You had some play, and if you start something, especially against a national master, you gotta keep on taking that initiative, because the moment that you let them have space, it's over. And bringing the knight up was that critical mistake of bringing the queen back instead. Bringing the knight out, you're attacking something, you're going after the doubled pawn weakness, and now it's just a waiting game.
This is a tough position, but let me ask you a question. If we're not resigning, is there any cheese available? Is there any cheesy trick where if you got 2 or 3 or 4 moves in a row that you could go for?
Down on time. I love cheesy tricks because I've pulled them out of my ass before. But we are going to see the rook coming over to g1 as Alex prepped with bringing his king over. and the cheesy tricks kind of start falling away as now the rook's over, and now the knight can't go anywhere.
This
knight can't go anywhere.
Knight
at
F7
all.
doesn't work. Knight.
Well,
I'm
knight
sorry.
can't. The
Knight
queen's,
F7 does not work, because if you play bishop takes H7, you can't take back with the knight because your queen hangs.
Exactly.
So where's this knight going?
This is resignable now. This is what I was. This is writing on the wall. King comes back,
and now you can't put your rook on the G file either because your knight is blocking it. This was a tough game. I mean, this is like, we've talked a lot about the strength of.
It's a game of inches. It's a game of inches. You give a master an inch, they're gonna take your whole hand. They're gonna take it all. It's really hard to play against them.
And I think in the next game we might see Alex against Alan.
Either Alex against Alan, and depending, or against Danny.
Or against
Either
Danny.
one. That's going to be the three. That's what everyone's been expecting the 3-horse race to be. I don't know. There might be a couple other contenders, but those were the 3 favorites, and picking from the 3 of them is pretty hard.
When that happens, I'm going to need to be putting this game into my Elite Chess on my phone,
Yeah,
because
we have to do
that's
something.
above my pay grade.
A bit above our heads.
This one we could manage a little bit because it was a little bit clearer. I appreciate you being in here too. It's good to be able to talk to someone about.
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
You're very knowledgeable.
Yeah, that's I have my strengths. Like, I'm not the, honestly, openings. Like, you're saying the Benoni and, the King's Indian. I'm like, oh, blah, blah. But tactically, hit with a tactic. This is what I've been waiting for.
It works. It works too.
Okay, so king takes. The rook comes over, check. And then it's scary because the knight can't come back, because then you have either rook or bishop takes knight, and that will be a checkmate. Actually, wait a second. Let's look at this.
You see
here.
it?
Yeah, I see that. The knight can't come out after king takes rook, check.
Queen C3.
Queen C3. C3.
So king takes G7. Rook G1. King H8. Queen C3. Or you can go queen B2.
I don't know. Oh yeah, so now just rocket it off check.
So there's some chance.
I don't think queen C3 is the right move.
You don't think so?
No. I don't, because it's the knight is has 2 defenders.
Where?
The queen and the king.
Yeah, but the king has to go to the H file.
Not right now. It can go knight up.
Oh, so you want to go?
Well, knight.
G6.
No, I mean just simply knight up is losing because bishop takes knight.
Yes.
It's just losing.
Yeah. So here in this position, king H8.
So what you're saying, though, let's go through this hypothetical.
Yes.
Knight blocks, bishop takes.
No. I that's a bad line. I thought that's what you were saying. I think king H8 is the move.
Now
queen C3.
Well, queen C3, knight's gonna go over to C. F is gonna go to C7 or D7.
Take it. Lights for bishop takes.
Yes.
D1.
Well, so no D7 then.
Takes.
D7, same situation.
Yeah.
Yep. This is done. Yep.
Oh, but he had the style on me and put it on the B anyway. I was almost correct. Same idea.
And you see Danny watching his future opponent here. That's the
Look at that stare from Alex.
Master Danny.
See, an idea from, for Alex to see that back 4 or 5 moves ago. That's just, these guys see that in 2 seconds. I didn't see that until
when you're in the web of it's way easier to play these sorts of positions where it becomes a game of tactics and looking at tactical positions and just keep on leaning onto the button. He smells blood. It's hard to deal with. 3 seconds left.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Gets the move in.
D7.
And now we're gonna go through the tactic that Matt elegantly talked about earlier, where bishop takes knight is just GG.
Yeah, and the problem is that the king and the queen are forked here, so
Yep.
it's just so painful.
Well, queen takes isn't an immediate mate.
Yeah, it's mate too.
Yes, it is. You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah. Mate
Yeah,
too.
because bishop takes. Now queen falls and
King
it's
goes
GG.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
Mate
King
after
F7. Yeah,
bishop f5.
Actually, maybe you take the rook first because
Well,
you can
no, now
block with
rook
bishop.
blacks,
Yeah,
kingdom's
yeah.
the resign. Okay.
All right. Whoa. Spicy game.
Yeah, I really that was the. Did we take a picture of the key position? Did we do that? Did I do that? Did you do that?
I think one of us did.
Yeah, that was the key position. Was the queen back maneuver. Very tricksy.
Yeah, that was. And it looks like the players are analyzing right now. They're looking at some ideas. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they have to say. Our what we were looking at was queen d8 instead of queen d8, knight e5. That was a
Yeah.
critical moment.
Knight e5. I'll be very curious to hear what he's saying right now. If he was only mic'd up.
If only.
Yeah.
We'll get him in here though. We'll get him in here and we'll get Alex's opinion and maybe we'll hear it from Sam as
And
well.
the reign of Alex has begun on board one. The man to beat.
Alex
Yeah,
supremacy.
he's I've never I've played against a bunch of national masters, and I'll get varying degrees of success, but Alex is always I've never had a good position against him. He's always beaten me. He's very, very good.
He's a guy who grew up in Connecticut, in Storrs, Connecticut.
Mhm.
Go UConn.
There you
That's
go.
where
Look at
UConn
you.
is. And would come drive into the city to get access to stronger chess players.
Well, he'd probably go straight to the Marshall.
He would go to the Marshall. He would go to Washington Square Park. And Alex was very, very strong in high school. I think in high school he peaked around 2350 USCF and got very close to breaking through to the FM title as well at some point. I think he's got some goals to be able to break into the FIDE master or international master ranks at some
I
point.
thought he was an IM in my head. I don't know why I thought he was an IM, but he definitely plays like one. He's very, very, very good.